good afternoon. I'm Kumjani. Today's my topic is Alankar theory. This is my personal thing. Alankar, Alankar theory is the written by Bhamaha. Is the father of the Alankar. Alankara is the was the Sanskrit poetism believed comparatives with he was the noted from the writing a work called Kavyalankara. This is a Kavyalankara. The book is the, related to the Alankar and is the sixth chapters in this book and all his various in 300 1980 and the five in the first various is 69 various in the first chapter. He is the Bhamaha for country. He was known only by the reputation under the Kavya Alamkara came to the attention of the scholar in the early of 19th. What is the Alankara theory? In the Hindu poetry, the like of the Alankar, it means the ornaments or the odd ornaments. The Alankar means the ornaments, and it is the primarily used to the uh, enough of the beauty of a poem or a kavyansh. Without use of the alankar, not to the means of the written by the poetry and the kavyansh. The language of the poetry is the different from the ordinary language. It is the embellished without the appropriate use of the figure of the speech. Figure of the speech make the language line. Anandvardhana says that when alankar are used judicials, they are the soul of the poetry. Abhinav Gupta also believed that the Alankar are soul of poetry and not mere external. Mere thoughts and the emotions make only philosophy. They become poetry only philosophy. They become poetry only when they are embellished by the use of Alankars. An important aspect of the poetry is that it is all charming and beautiful. Alankar allow poetry to express idea in the different manners for the ordinary use of the language. Anandvardhana says that about the Alankar, the event figure of speech are directly expressed. They are the like ornaments on our the body. But when they are indirectly expressed or suggested, they make poetry even more beautiful and become the soul poetry. Anandvardhana rule of the use of the alankar. The first is the alankar should be surrounded to the rasa. The realization of the ras is the more important, and the alankar should be to help of the achieving this. Without ras and the alankar, not to the core kavyansh in the poetry, was the important of the ras is the same way is the important is the alankar in the poetry. Another important is the rule is that it should be assured with bhav and the emotions deal with. The poem is the main of the ras in Alankar. With the way of the bhav and the emotion is our poem. It should be naturally and easily introduced. It is the should not look like artificially imposition of this poem. Third, the poet should not take an extra effort in these introduced alankars. Boj classifies the alankars into three: Bahya, Abhyantara, and Bahyamtara. Bahya Alankar is conveyed with the shabdas or the words. They are the external alankars. These alankars like ornaments or dress worn over the body. Abhyantara Alankar is cornered with the earth or meaning, and they are the internal. Is they are the like internal. Uh, internal decoration like a cleaning of the teeth. Bahyam Tara Alankar is the cornered with both Shabda and the Artha. These are like decorate on the skin applying chandan or kumkum. Types of the Alankar. Two types of the Alankar, Shabda Alankar and the Artha Alankar. Shabda Alankar is produced of the words and the Artha Alankar is the sound. The supporters of the Alankar school thought of the poetry as the having of the body, which required to the ornamented these kavya rasa on one hand and the set of poetic figure. On the other were two main separate or extra of the uh, extents of the poetry. The body consisted of the group of the word which cannot devoid on the irregular idea. As hence the body uh, the body constituted of the two basic elements. Sound is means the shabda and the sense of the artha. According to the Bhama, According to the Bhamaha, what is consummated kavya was the combination of these two elements. But the kavya sriya of the poetry never shine without proper ornaments in the form of poetics. Figures and hence these are estimated just as the face of the Delhi's, though the beautiful legs, lutres, and the unroads, so is a poetry. The employment of the alankaras is the characteristic of feature of the poetry, like the factors and convey the matter of fact. The speech into the poetic speech and the grammar of the judging is worth, while while the Oriental speech is the side and the legs. Ornamentations poetry is marked by the strict turn into the expression. Apart from the treatment of a figure, the Alankar theory also devoted attention to the impropensions of poetic qualities. In the exclusives of the flow of poetry, is the expandiment that contribute to the produce applied. Hence, the voil of Alankar theory is primarily conveyed with a formal establishment of the external aspect of Kavya. Alankar divided into two, Artha Alankar and the Shabda Alankar. Artha Alankar divide the four part and the Shabda Alankar is also five. The most common Shabda Alankar you might find in the Hindi poetry or the English. The first of the illustrationary Anupras. In the other name is Varnanupras. When is the content word to repeat seriously more than once? In this alankar, we is one word is the repeated to again and again. For the example, is gher gher ghur gagan. Here the is the repeated in the three times is the yamak alakar. The vein is the same word repeat more than once, but each that is the time meaning is the meaning of the different in the word. For the example is the sajna hai mujhe sajna ke liye. Here is a sajna means to the first is the makeup and the second sajna is the lover. The third is the slash. When a word used the once but is gives more than one meanings. The example is the मधुबन की छाती को देखो सुखी इसकी कितनी कलियां. Here is a kalia means the flower that is not fully blown. The young and the young children. Poet wants to describe a scenes where a madhuban. This means the garden is a lake, were the blushing flowers and the young children, and is most common the Artha Alankar that you might find in the Hindi poetry are the first is the Shimi, is the Upma. When a person think is compared in words with a similar but a famous well-known person or things. The example of is the Taj Mahal Sagar. The house like the Taj Mahal. Here the house is compared with the building which is the famous for its beauty. The metaphor, this is a rupa. When a word is used for the something to which it is not a literary uh, applicable in the order to suggest a rebalance. The example of the Payoji Mene Ram Ratanathan Payo. Here Ram is the Hindu god and is suggested metaphorically as the Ratan is the stone and the Dhan is of the money. It is Atishayati hyperbole when a word is used extra good sometime some things or someone to evoke a strong feelings or to create a strong inspiration. This is the example of the Dil Badal Bane Aankheं Behne Lagi. Here a dil means heart, established to the cloud the dramatic effect of this extragration would be, or the eyes that can the tears as rain because of the heart has turned into the clouds. This is my citation.
Janvi, what major difference the use of Alankar makes in songs or poems?
The major difference between song and poem use of Alankar, the poem created the uh, poets are the use of Alankar dhvanis. Without use of Alankar, that cannot achieve that poems level, and without Alankar, that cannot create a perfect way in the poem. And in the song is not the song created by not important not not important the alankar is used is not important the use of the alankar is the singer is like that is way on the lyrics.
Janvi. What is meant by Alankar to the Indian aesthetics?
The Indian aesthetics, the Alankar is the meant by the Alankar is like the ornaments in the is like the Ras is the Ras and the compare is the Alankar is the important.